Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we're looking at the Star Wars Black Series 2 6-inch Han Solo figure. A really good figure, which is kind of common for this line, so that's definitely a good thing for Star Wars fans. He stands about 6¼ inches tall. He's got some really decent accessories and some good articulation, good paint. I'm going to say right off the bat, I do recommend it. So let's look at the figure. How's the head sculpt? Does it look like Harrison Ford? From some angles, it does. From others, it really doesn't. And I think most of the reason it doesn't is the paintwork. I think if somebody went in and just touched up the eyes a little bit, they could definitely make it look a little bit more like him. But it's definitely not a bad sculpt. Like you see from the side, it looks pretty good for sure. So I'm thinking it's just the paint. And I don't know if this is intentional or not, but it looks like the nose is just a little bit crooked, and I'm pretty sure his is like that in real life, so that is probably a good thing. The hair is sculpted well, has some nice shading on it. The articulation for the neck is like that, so there's a hinge and the ball peg. So good range of motion for the head. Really anything you want to do, you can do. The shoulder articulation, standard ball hinge. No bicep swivel, but you have it in the elbow, so it's effectively the same thing. And since he's wearing clothes that you can get away with it, or baggy clothes, you can get away with it a little bit more, so that's okay. The wrist articulation is a swivel and a pivot, same thing on both sides. The cool thing about this figure is he has interchangeable hands. Each side has a replaceable hand that has the black and yellow gloves, and those are done really well. It's sculpted, it's not just painted. They interchange easily, they look good. Really, really nice feature. I love that they did that. He's got the vest thing on here, which you can take off. All you have to do is pull the arms back like that, and you can pull it right off, no problem. So that's cool. I'm glad they didn't connect that. Could have used a little more paint on the vest, since there's none, but it's still sculpted well, and it comes off, so that's cool. He has the nicely sculpted belt, which is painted well also. That's actually part of the figure. Before we go down any farther, let's talk about this. His diaphragm joint is pretty low, which makes the figure look a lot better. There's no big cut across the chest. It does impede the articulation a little bit, but you still get a pretty good range out of him, so I'm okay with it, really. And it does have it's an effective waist swivel as well, so I'm pretty happy with that. He has this belt, which is an accessory. It doesn't even come on him in the package. It, as you can see, is sculpted and detailed really well. And it has the holster for his pistol. Be careful unpegging it right here. It's a very tiny peg, so that could tear. And it doesn't come up as easily as it should. It's kind of the way it's sculpted. It doesn't want to go up any higher, so be careful with that. Don't rip it off. Pistol goes in nicely. Pistol is sculpted really well, and it is painted, so that's cool. And this thing, like I said, it goes around his thigh here, and it goes around up here, but it unsnaps. I forget where the snap is, back here. So you can take that off and give him the belt that he comes with in the package, but it's not the one I would display him with personally. Be careful around his leg. It does get a little tight, and it does also down here by his foot, so be careful with that. But you can take this one off and put on this one, which is the Stormtrooper belt, and I assume it goes like this because otherwise it would be backwards, and that's the way it was in the package. So you put this one on. Again, the peg, be careful with the peg. It feels like it could break off. So you have that one also, which I think it could have used a wash maybe, but it still looks pretty good. And it has the holster on the back for the larger gun, which is warped usually in the package. This one doesn't have any paintwork on it, unfortunately, but it's sculpted really well. He does hold either gun just fine in his trigger hand. Only on the right side does he have a trigger, by the way. So that's it for accessories. Let's get back to the articulation. His hips are same as Leia and same as most of the new Marvel Legends, so pretty good range of motion out to the side, forward, back. Thigh swivel, of course it breaks up the sculpted detailing on there, but it's not, I mean, it's not horrible, I guess. And like I said, this is sculpted, so really good job on that. Double jointed knees, boots are painted glossy to actually look like they're boots. And then he has the nice new ankle articulation, which I wonder what's on his foot. Some kind of smudge from the factory. So he's got the ankle pivot there, and then the ankle rocker as well. So really he's chock full of articulation, interchangeable hands, removable vest, interchangeable belts, 2 guns, can't beat it for the price. Definitely a great figure. So as I said, I do recommend it 100%. Go pick it up. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. In the meantime, keep collecting.